class, everyone. Today, Linda and I are going to be talking to you all about neoliberal ethics, self-responsibility, and ethical effects.
Alright, so our case study is going to be the Product Red campaign, and it is a private company that launched in 2006 by the U2 singer Bono and of California politician Robert Shriver. And what it is that a portion of its proceeds from the Product Red brand items goes to the Global Fund to fight AIDS. What makes these products special is that they contain a red color which symbolizes their campaign, and companies like Gap, Apple, Dell, and Starbucks have red products that consumers can purchase. It is one of the largest consumer-based income-generating initiative by the private sector for an international humanitarian cause. Their manifesto is, every generation is known for something. Let's be the ones to deliver an AIDS-free generation. We all have tremendous power. What we choose to do or even buy can affect someone's life on the other side of the world. In 2002, more than 1,500 babies were born every day with HIV. Today, that number is just over 600. We must make an act now that can get close to zero. Red can't accomplish this alone. It will take all of us to get there. Governments, health organizations, companies, and you. When you buy red, a red partner will give up some of its profits to fight AIDS. It is simple as that. Be red, start the end of AIDS now.
And as you can see, one of the products is the red iPod Nano. I don't know if you all have seen that one before. I know I have. So if we're talking about ethical citizenship through King, it's promoted and popularly understood as an authentic mass participation grassroots social movement designed to bring about change. And in this particular example, it's not so much a grassroots social movement, but it is seen as a social movement because the people that started it are a celebrity and a politician, so that's not really from the ground up. So there's a specific relationship between generosity, citizenship, consumption, and political action in the United States, and as we can see through what Linda shared with us, there's a lot of that in the manifesto. And the political responsibility is that subjects are individuals who are responsible for not only themselves but for others in the community. And in this particular example, it's more of the world community that we're talking about. And we learned through King that ideal citizenship could be the corporate or individual, and it depends on publicly celebrated personal acts of generosity mediated through and within consumer culture, and that is really evident in this case. So the criteria for King's neoliberal ethics are that it works as a technology of power, promotes self-responsibilization, promotes individuals to work on themselves and their bodies, abdicates the responsibility of the government to care for citizens, promotes citizenship and political participation through consumption. They capitalize on effective community ties for corporate profit, and they promote a refusal to know. And as we will look at a couple of examples, both Linda and I came to the conclusion that we do think that neoliberal ethics is being used in this case. So here's one for you right now. I don't think this sounded well. Yeah, we'll start it up. so we have a couple questions for you all about that video.
So after watching this video, did it compel you to make a difference to buy a Starbucks today?
No.
Can you explain why?
Well, for me, I'm going to give the classic curmudgeon, cynical response, but no, it's the opposite for me, because I think it pisses me off when I see this. Like, I feel like I'm being so exploited, and I see the people who like are extra motivated to buy like the Tom shoes or these shoes. It's like being pseudo activists, and it's like it's not actually about changing the world. It's about feeling better about yourself for spending $5 on Starbucks or whatever you're doing, whether you're buying a $70 pair of shoes. And it just, I think, is a way for us to like create an identity of us being philanthropic without actually having to get up off our asses and do anything different.
And on the Starbucks side, like if you take a step back and you look at it, like this is completely just a business transaction between Starbucks and Red. Like if they were actually trying to help these people, they could have just donated 5% of their profits from the day instead of trying to use this sort of like philanthropy as an advertising method to get more people to spend more $5 on those coffees.
I'm going to speak from past experience because I remember the Red campaign fairly well, and I actually was completely and totally interpolated into it. I bought the t-shirt. I don't know if I bought the coffee, but I was a lot younger, and I don't know what I know now. Now today I would really question this, but hands down, initially I was totally hailed into that idea that by my consumption I could somehow help people. So for me it worked at one point. Now I find that very challenging, and actually, like Jeffrey, feel a little bit of anger. Like today I was in Starbucks. I'm still guilty. But they say for every bag we plant a tree. And it just, I don't know, the relationship for me gets very convoluted because I want to do something, but I don't feel like this is effective. But it's a very powerful move, and I think a lot of people get called into it.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I found really interesting when we were researching on this case particularly is that a lot of these companies, yes, they are, sending 5 cents to the foundation, but on the other hand, the increased consumption causes other problems for other people. Although you're sending 5 cents to whoever, there might be a child working in a sweatshop in India to make that shirt, that 5 cents of it is going towards AIDS. So it kind of just almost takes the light away from other problems that like the companies have and make them look good.
I think that's all it's for. It's a PR move to try and, again, like lull the public into this false sense of like philanthropy and that they're actually doing something well. And at that same point, with Apple products, like, how about you start by paying your freaking taxes in the United States? Like, and then after you do that, you still have billions of dollars of profits. Use some of those billions of dollars of profits and donate. But instead they're saying, well, we're going to create a Red product, and it entices people who are already going to buy the iPod to begin with to pay a little bit more, and they probably even mark them up. I don't know for a fact, that's just me speaking off the top of my head. But I wouldn't be surprised if they even marked it up to cover the difference. And they sell that many much more because people are going out to buy that Red iPod saying, well, no, I have to have this because it's going to go towards people with AIDS. I'm making a difference. And it's like, no, you're just buying it because you want the iPod, and you want the red one because then it says that I'm a better person than the people who didn't buy the red one.
And it also speaks to, I don't know if you guys thought about it this way, but privilege as well, because people who are not privileged don't care. It's not like, it's like we'd rather like steal the yellow one because you can get the yellow one, not buy the red one because it makes us look better. That we don't, if you don't have privilege, you don't really think of things like that. I'm talking about economic privilege. Essentially, like there's like a survivalist mode, and then there's I want to feel better about myself today, so I'm gonna buy this kind of recyclable thing. I'm gonna buy this because it makes me look a better person. And look at how privileged and good I am. That's the way I look at it.
That's a good point.
So, the companies were known to spend at least $100 million on advertising, but only 18 million was raised for the campaign according to the Advertising Age magazine. But the officials at Red claimed that the companies had only spent 50 million and raised 25 million. But Advertising Age stood by their article and was agreeing that it was 100 million, only 18 million was raised. Red doesn't do any of the advertising itself. It's only based on the companies and who they're partnered with does the advertising. And companies would have to pay Red a licensing fee to label one or more of their products for Red. A percentage of the profit that goes to fund the item and the company. So for the American Express Red card, they claim that 1% of your total purchase will go towards Red. For Gap Red, they said that 50% of it will go towards it. And for Motorola, if you purchase their Motorola Red Moto Razr, they'll give $8.50 towards Red for each phone that is purchased. What is interesting that neither Red nor the companies would disclose any of the revenue or total contributions by the companies or the products. And it's not clear how much is being donated towards Red. On the Red website, they stated that throughout the past decade, Red has raised $350 million with the help of our partners, and 100% of the money from our products and events goes directly to work on the ground. Yet the companies use Red to market themselves as socially conscious and to increase their sales.
So we have another one for you. This one's really fun.
We're like being trolled by the
I know.
every class.
That was inappropriate. It's a good game.
So that was a Super Bowl commercial. So
I
that
don't
was
understand.
widely spread.
Carrie
Somebody
never
paid
that
millions
long.
of dollars to make that? That's like terrible.
I know, right? We were really shocked when we saw it, and then to see that it was played at the Super Bowl, a lot of people had to have seen that. So as you can see in that commercial, everyone that the man passes by, he gets congratulated as he's holding his red laptop and gets a nice pat on the butt from the bus driver and a kiss from a beautiful woman. And there's definitely a lot of issues happening in this commercial, but you know, the biggest one is that he's being celebrated for buying a computer.
Great job.
Well, it's kind of ridiculous because like when you look at, right, like at least most products are focused on like the products and services that they provide. Like you're buying some sort of a solution to a problem. This, they don't even talk about it. Like you wouldn't have known it was a computer commercial. It could have been an Axe commercial for all we would have known until the very end where they're like, buy a Dell, which just goes to show they're not marketing a product, they're marketing ideology and like philanthropy, like buy the secret about yourself.
Yeah, and what's lost in this is the facts about helping people with AIDS. AIDS isn't mentioned once. They had a cameo of one African American person there, and it kind of just goes towards that self-celebration of doing good, which is slightly annoying.
Well, the image of owning a, is it Dell Red, what it's called? Like Jeff was saying, they're marketing towards a group of people who pretty much don't care about the effects that buying the product will have, but more so the effects that the product will have on themselves, as in getting the kiss from a beautiful girl, or having like hundreds of people flock to you and say, oh, you're such a good person, and you're inside, just kind of like, I don't really care, I just want to look for everyone else to see me in my image, so I was kind of paralleling off of what you were saying.
I think it's interesting too, like if you compare this to maybe like the 90s and the 2000s when they were trying to exploit people to give money. It used to be that exploit you based off of pulling at your heartstrings and making you feel guilty, but showing you starving children, people with like flies on them and dying, and like yeah. But I think somewhere along the lines they realize that that's not as effective. Like that might have an effect on some people, but not for the young people. Young people want to feel good.